Welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. This is Boost My Build, where we take your PC build list, we tear them up, put them back together, and we massively increase your performance. And we have two crazy builds for this episode. We're gonna start off with a $1,300 1440 PC build that wants to play eSports title and convinced they've got to get the biggest CPU they can and then just get whatever GPU they can afford. Is that actually correct, or should we do something else? And we've got a $3,000 Godzilla gaming PC, but are they putting their money in the right places, or are they just throwing it down the toilet? Remember, if you get value out of this video, please give it a like, as it makes a huge difference to the channel, and of course subscribe for more cool PC content. Let's jump into it. This video is sponsored by Seasonic, who many consider the gold standard in PC power supplies. I recommend Seasonic PSUs because they're built to last and perform under load. For PC enthusiasts looking for ultimate performance, Seasonic's flagship Prime TX lineup delivers. ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.1 compatible with 1300 and 1600 watt versions for maximum power needs. The Prime TX PSUs now come with updated 12 volt 2x6 cables for increased safety and reliability with RTX 50 series GPUs. And Seasonic's digital fan control means the PSU stays cool and quiet under load. If you are looking for no compromises, performance in power, thermals, and noise, check out the Seasonic Prime TX 1300 and TX 1600 using the link in the video description. All right, we've got Smiling. Smiling says they're in the US. They want a brand new PC build for $1,300. They only need the PC, forget the monitor. This is my very first PC and a big jump as I was a console gamer. All right, console gamers coming to PC. We love to see it, especially around Black Friday. We're going to talk about some of those Black Friday deals. I mostly play competitive games, so CPU is more important in my case. CPU, just that language right there, already boo-hoo, alarm bells going off. They play Fortnite, CS2, Rivals, and Spider-Man. They're gonna play competitive games at 1080p, and they wanna play AAA games at 1440p. They've got a ASUS PG27AQN, so that's a 360 hertz, I believe that's IPS panel. My main concern is with my CPU GPU combo. My initial combo is an X3D CPU with a 5060 Ti. My eyes are gonna pop out of my head. But people are saying that a 9600X NE5070 is better. Oh my goodness. Let's see what you got. How does this keep happening? I don't know. I just can't stop it. I don't know what to do. What am I talking about? Well, you finish out at $1,403.79. So right off the bat, we're $100 over your budget, and I am not seeing $1,400 worth of performance here. Now, on the one hand, if you put this together, build is not going to explode. You're just going to get a significantly lower level of performance than you could for $1,400 otherwise. And of course, our budget is $1,300, so we're going to try and get even more performance for $1,300 instead and shave another $100 off your budget. But let's start off with what else? The GPU. So you went with the RTX 5060 Ti 16GB, $429. Not my favorite GPU. I think it's not good value when you compare it to the 9060 XT 16GB. It's a decent GPU, but for $1,400, I would not want to see this GPU in that. We should be getting a much bigger GPU. You're spending $400 basically on the graphics card, and you're spending $1,000 on the build. That is massively outsized. You want that, if anything, at least almost 50-50 there. So we're gonna have some real work cut out for us. You went with the 7800 X3D, which is a great gaming CPU. Right now, I don't know why it's come up in price everywhere. Kind of looks like it's sold out. It's possible though, because I'm filming this before Black Friday. That's the thing. Before the early Black Friday sales, they're just withholding stock right now in order to have these kind of doorbuster things. And right now at Walmart, you can still pick it up for $360. Always check out Walmart. They're another good alternative, along with Newegg and Best Buy and Amazon, obviously. But for this level of build, the 7800 X3D typically does not fit in. We often want to find a Ryzen 5 CPU out there instead. I don't mind the cooler, Thermalright Aqua Elite V3, good cooler. It's a budget 360. It's got pretty good performance to it. That being said, it's about on par with what we can get for a dual tower air cooler like the Thermalright Phantom Spirit, and it looks amazing. And for $55, it's kind of cheap. The motherboard, the Gigabyte B850 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi, not my favorite motherboard. For whatever reason, Gigabyte decided not to put higher end audio on these Aorus gaming branded motherboards, and I kind of read them the riot act a little bit at CES where they introduced these things. I'd love to say as a result, probably not, but I'd like to think that on the reason that they are revising their motherboards. They just announced this not too long ago for a 1.1 revision, and they're going to upgrade the audio on all the boards, but they haven't come to the US just yet. We still have the boards with the lower audio. So that being said, it's just kind of a mid-range motherboard. Yeah, if you haven't checked RAM prices in a while, you see this. Oh my goodness, Jason, $140 for a RAM kit. This is what's going on with AI right now. AI is soaking up all of the RAM and SSDs out there. And it's not that they're buying the consumer grade stuff, it's that the companies that make the RAM are switching to the server memory. They're pushing that out the door instead. There's only a limited amount of fab supply out there. They're not interested in increasing it. So we're seeing price jumps. This is like $50 inside of a month. If you have not bought your RAM yet, you should really get it. This is a fine kit, DDR5 6000 CL30, $138, about the going price. I love the Montech XR PC case ATX. It's got rubber grommet hole covers. It's got 3 included ARGB fans, including 2 on the side are actually reverse blades, so you don't have to look at the back of the fan for the intake. Absolutely love it, and it goes really well with a 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler. We used one in our 9600X build guide. I don't mind the MSI Mag A750GL, $86. It's not a bad price, but it is only, I think it's B tier rated for 750 watts, when for the same price there are A tier rated PSUs. They're actually like 850 watts. It's not that we need 750 watts for this build. This is probably could get away with a lot lower end power supply if we're just going to go with a 5060 Ti on it. So for $1,403.79, I'm not seeing the level of performance here I want to see, and we're $100 over our budget. So really we want to kind of right size our CPU GPU combo, get a lot more FPS out of this, including for those quote unquote CPU intensive titles. And at the same time, we got to get that budget down to something more affordable. I called this the $1,300 1440p gaming and 1080p eSports monster machine, because not only are we going to actually hit your budget, we're going to save you $100. This is going to give you way more FPS. And I'm going to demonstrate that in CPU GPU combo benchmarks in just a second. So let's just start off with the budget. I finished out at $1,291.81. You were at $1,404. What is that? $113 that I've slashed from the budget. Not only that, but as we'll go through the build, I've actually upgraded a couple of components, and I really like where we've come out with it. But let's start off with the GPU. Now, the GPU that I ended up going with in this case is the 9070 16 gigabyte, not the XT version, the non-XT version. $559 for the Power Color Hellhound. Right now, that's great. It's $10 over the MSRP. This is probably the one that I would pick up. Let's talk about Black Friday sales. Will these, yes, I expect these GPUs to possibly go on sale, although $559 for a premium RX 9070 model, maybe not any cheaper than that. Maybe you'll see that like the Reaper edition will get a little bit cheaper. But I think if you're looking for the 9070 XT, that might hit $559 again. That would be another $40. That would make sense to spend the extra $40 and jump up to the 9070 XT. And with our PSUs, we'll go through in a second, we certainly could do that, but we're going to stick with this GPU right now. Your NVIDIA option here is the RTX 5070. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is there's one model at both Amazon and at Best Buy for $499. And at Best Buy, it comes with the free game, the Arc Raiders game as well. And at $499, especially with that Arc Raiders game, if you buy it at Best Buy, which I'll leave a link down in the video description. All these parts are obviously linked down in the video description. Check the full builds out down there. But that would be like a $450 GPU. And at that point, I'd buy this over the 5060 Ti any day. So just keep that in mind. Let's talk about how many FPS we can expect. And let's talk about the difference between using something like the Ryzen 7600, which, spoiler alert, we're going to use in this build, and something like the 7800X3D. So TechSpot, aka Hardware Unbox, did CPU and GPU scaling not too long ago. 4 CPUs and 4 GPUs. The CPUs, obviously 9800X3D, which we're just going to roughly put in for the 7800X3D. The 7600X, which we're going to go with in our build, and then some Ryzen 5000 series CPUs, and then the GPUs were the 5090, 5080, the 9070, and the 9060XT 16 gigabyte, which is a stand-in for the 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte. Let's start off with Marvel Rivals. This is one of the games that you said you wanted to play, and this is 1080p medium quality, so this is really cranking down the quality settings to max out the FPS. And look at that. If you go with the 9800X3D or 7800X3D in your case, and 9060XT, which 5060 Ti, you're going to get around 120 average FPS. And if you look, there's no FPS difference depending on what CPU you use, because we're mostly GPU bound at that lower level of GPU. Meanwhile, if we look at the 9070, you'd get more FPS with a Ryzen 5 7600X and a 9070 than you would with the 9800X3D or 7800X3D and the 5060 Ti 16 gigabyte. That's real FPS gains. The crazy thing about this is also, you can see that NVIDIA GPUs still have a lot of overhead. The overhead issue hasn't fully gone away. It's gotten a little bit better. You can see the 9070 competes with the 5080, and that is totally crazy. That just shows you how much CPU overhead there is in some of these NVIDIA GPUs at 1080p. And for those of you saying, well, Jason, CS2 is different, let's look at a game that's CS2-like. They didn't actually do CS2, but let's look at Rainbow Six Siege, and you can see here, same thing basically. If we go with that 9800X4D, or in your case, 7800X4D, and 5060 Ti 16GB combo, it's outpaced very easily by the 9070 with a Ryzen 7600X. In fact, it's absolutely crushed. So just check that out. And again, I just want us to kind of put into context this whole CPU intensive thing. Remember, we want to get the biggest, fastest GPU that we can and get a CPU that just won't bottleneck it. Speaking of CPUs that don't overly bottleneck us, that's a Ryzen 7600X. Right now, 176, it was $149 a couple days ago. You can look at the 7600, the 9600X, the 7500F, all available now in the US for between $160 and $180. I would only buy the higher performing CPUs for like $10 or $15 over the lower performing ones like 9600X or 7600X. And the great thing is that about this, not only does it give us the FPS and the GPU that we want right now, but we can drop in that X3D CPU anytime we want. Now, in order to cool this, we don't need the 360mm all-in-one liquid cooler. I had to get rid of it for cost reasons, obviously, because we wanted to get that higher end GPU. Now, if you do decide to go with the 5070 for some reason, you could, of course, you'll save $50. You could probably put that cooler. That cooler is absolutely fine. In the meantime, I went with a budget tower air cooler. I like the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Pro. I think it looks amazing. I love the styling on the top of it. It's got great RGB and it looks amazing for $18. I also upgraded our motherboard, despite the fact that it's cheaper. I love the ASUS TUF Gaming B650E-Plus. It's got upgraded audio. It does something that that Gigabyte board doesn't have, and it has similar features to everything else. So I went with this, saved us $20 in order to fit under our budget. This is probably the best value premium motherboard out there. And remember, B650 is actually technically better than B850 because it guarantees the top GPU slot is PCIe Gen 5. Otherwise, there's really no differences to them. Pick this up instead. I did switch out your PSU. I went with the Lian Edge 750 watt. This is the gold unit. This is sold by Lian and shipped by Newegg on their website. And at $81, it is a crazy good value. It's currently the best value A-tier rated PSU on the SPL PSU tier list. $81 is just too hard to pass up. Go ahead and pick this up. So for $1,291.81, not only did we upgrade some critical components like your motherboard with upgraded audio, upgraded the PSU to an A-tier rated PSU, but we also massively upgraded your FPS performance with that RX 9070, or if you can want to go with the RTX 5070 12GB, you can do that as well. And we right-sized your CPU GPU combo with a really good performing Ryzen 5 7600X and budget tower air cooler. You're going to get way more FPS out of this setup than that X3D combo with a poor little GPU out there. So for $1,291, I hope you feel like your build is boosted. All right, Black Friday is a great time to build super Godzilla builds. GM's got one for us here, $3,000. The budget is USD, and they say it's for the PC only. They say this is their very first build. They're gonna admit that they may have gone a little overboard. Don't know what that means. I'm gonna use it for mainly high quality graphic games. Currently playing a lot of Battlefield 6, but they also play like Hogwarts Legacy, Spider-Man 2. I think they're saying that they want higher graphical detail out there. That's great. Other than that, just YouTube and emails, 1440p. So primarily gaming focus, and we want to not only get good frame rates in a game like Battlefield 6, but it seems like we want higher visual fidelity. So let's see what you got. Oh my goodness, look at this crazy parts list. It just goes on for days and days and days. I had to shrink it way down just so it fits on the screen. Not only that, but you finished out $2,979.80. I noticed there's no price in there for the RAM. Guess what? RAM prices have gone up. So you are over your budget. We're closer to $3,100, $3,150. And on top of that, I noticed that, in fact, you do have a gaming monitor in here. You've got the AOC. Basically, it's a curved ultra-wide gaming monitor, 1440p. It's a good budget one, but this is an LCD panel. It's curved VA. Why are we not going with OLED gaming monitors at $3,000? Let's not go on and on about, oh, I need all this FPS for my gaming PC, but then the thing that we're going to display it on, again, if this is your budget, that's fine, but we could have OLED. use the power of OLED. The power of OLED compels you out there, and that's the direction we're gonna go. We're gonna dump this thing. For the GPU, went with the RTX 5080. I think this is a good choice. $999. Basically, you're not gonna be able to move up to a 5090 because it'll be like $2,400 right now in the US. Maybe you'll get lucky, get one at $2,200. Even so, it's not enough for an entire PC build on top of that and a gaming monitor. So I think this is the way to go. But we absolutely lost our mind with this case because not only did we go with the Lian cool, we got bit by the Lian virus. I knew there was something crazy going on here. Where's all of our money going? So we went with this case, which is fine. Actually, I think this comes with 4 included non-RGB fans, or it comes with the 2 big fans in the front, and it comes with the rear exhaust. We decided we're absolutely going to lose our minds, and we got two of these 3 packs, each of them for $92. So that's what, $185 right there on fans. But wait, there's one more because I guess we decided we needed another fan in there for another $33. Wow. Did we just really spend like $220 on fans? And then we got a budget gaming monitor. What are we doing with ourselves? Look at your life, look at your choices. We're gonna fix that. For the rest of the build, 9800X3D, I like it, but 7800X3D probably will need to drop down to that just to get some more money in here because you're over budget already. You don't have RAM in here, and we need RAM. We also need a better gaming monitor, so that's probably the direction I'm gonna go. I love the Thermaltake Peerless Assassin 120 digital. $45. Love the cost efficiency. It's a great performing cooler. It's the Thermaltake Peerless Assassin, after all, one of the best air coolers out there. And it's got that cool digital readout on the top. I absolutely love this. And I really want to do a live stream build with this one. So stay subscribed and join as a member to get all of our cool live stream builds. For the motherboard, I like the ASUS Tough Gaming B850 Plus Wi-Fi, but it's a little expensive. I think we could drop down to still a premium board, but just less high end than this to get some money for that monitor. I don't understand what we did with the drives. We got two 2TB drives, both of them different. We got the Western Digital Black SN770. This doesn't have DRAM, by the way. I'm not even sure they're still making this drive by $129, but it's got the plus sign. That means it's third-party seller usually. And then on top of that, we've got a Crucial P3 Plus, and add them together, it's $260. Right now, for 4TB drives, you should be able to find them around $200. So we're spending too much and we're getting 2TB drives. No, let's not do this. We also got a Windows license in there. I don't know why we're going with the Windows 11 Pro for $200. We're just going to get your regular Windows 11 Home license. You don't need the Pro, by the way, so we're gonna fix that as well. $2,979. Oh, by the way, you don't have RAM in here. We'll get you some RAM too. We've just made a lot of kind of mistakes. I know we've run out of budget because we just really got bit by that Lian virus, and our performance here isn't really the issue. It's our gaming monitor. That's really the performance that's at issue here that we really need to pump up. So let's boost this build. I called this one, Will the Real Godzilla Please Stand Up? Because this is the real Godzilla, and it comes equipped with an amazing 1440p OLED gaming monitor we'll get to in just a second. And of course, it comes with RAM too, and it comes with everything else you need. I finished out at $2,973.98. So basically, kind of a photocopy in terms of price to where you were, but let's just jump through this performance. Let's start off with the gaming monitor. I am so proud of this one. We went with the MSI Mag 341 CQP. It's basically a 34-inch ultra-wide 1440p QD OLED gaming monitor, and it is 175 hertz. So you're actually going to get pretty good frame rates. Now, if you wanted to go, because it's $649, that's kind of what these monitors go for the ultra-wide. If you just want to go for 1440p, like a 27-inch, you can pick those up for like $450, $200 less, and then you could spend $200 on something else, cough, cough, like all your Lian stuff that you wanted to dump money into, and we've changed that. I'll go through that in just a second, but I think this is a great 1440p gaming monitor. Listen, if you're going to spend $3,000, get a good experience all the time. OLED's going to give you that. I'm super happy with this monitor. Let's jump into the GPU. For the GPU, we went with the RTX 5080. Now, listen, I looked around at other 5080s. It looks like the number of MSRP 5080s is dwindling out there. It's possible during Black Friday sales, we'll see some of the other models that have been slightly overpriced come down to MSRP. I wouldn't hold out huge hopes for big discounts. Right now, though, if you buy this one over at Best Buy, that's why we're looking at this one at Best Buy, you can still get it with the Arc Raiders game bundle. I don't know how much. It's always while supplies last, and make sure it's in your cart at the time of checkout. It doesn't show it here on the page, but if you add it to your cart and you click a little button to show the included items, it is in fact in there right now as I film this. I would pick this one up. It's a good model. Let's jump to the rest of the platform here. I went with the 7800 X3D just to fit under that $3,000 price ceiling. Now you might decide, okay, Jason, I'm already spending $3,000. I'll spend an extra $100 on the 9800 X3D and that would be fine. I don't know as you're at the RTX 5080 level that you're gonna see much more performance over a 7800 X3D. I find that kind of hard to believe, but it's entirely possible depending on the game that you're gonna play. But for $360, this is a great value. I am seeing it dry up in other places right now, and I'm not quite sure why that is, whether they're just holding stock because we're getting close to early Black Friday sales, but I would probably look to buy it sooner rather than later. I suck it out with your cooler. I love the Thermite digital cooler. This is an awesome cooler. I've totally convinced myself my next build has to have this one. For the motherboard, I did switch this up. I went with the ASUS TUF Gaming B650E- Plus Wi-Fi. I looked at a couple other boards because I knew I'd just used this one in the previous build sometimes, so I like to switch it up. It is so hard to get away from this as one of the just really premium boards that's insane value out there. I would say it says only one left in the store, but if you click the shipping here, you can pretty much get it shipped to you. It's also at Newegg and Amazon as well. $179, hard to pass up. You just needed a DDR5 RAM kit. Now, I didn't know if you wanted RGB. The kit you had before didn't have any RGB, so I just went and picked up the Silicon Power DDR5 6000 CL30 kit. It's really all you need. Honestly, you could probably even go with a little bit of a lesser kit because the 7800 X3D won't care as much about the RAM speed. Really, the non-X3D CPUs care more about the RAM speed than the X3D ones. That being said, $140, about the going price. If you want RGB, it's only like $5 or $6 more. You can make the decision. For the drive, I decided to combine that together into one 4 terabyte drive. You might decide, yeah, Jason, 4 terabytes might be overkill. You got 3 M.2 slots. You can always go with a 2 terabyte now, right, for like $120. And this is a drive with DRAM, by the way. It's going to be better performant than the drives you were looking at, and it's going to cost you less than 2 terabytes. Instead of spending $260, we're spending $240. Now, this is something that for like early Black Friday and Black Friday sales, you often see stores go on sale. I do want to caution you, we're seeing the same issues with AI data centers eating up all the SSDs out there, and we are seeing SSD prices go up. So I'm not sure we're going to see some of the big discounts that we saw for like Amazon Prime Day. I might be a little more inclined to buy this sooner rather than later. Here's the big change I made is I got rid of hundreds and hundreds of dollars we were throwing away on our case. I don't want to say aesthetics are an important part of the gaming PC build. I just don't think that they should come at the cost of the monitor that we're using. If you disagree with me, of course, you're free to go back to where you were. I went with the Montech XR wood. It looks incredible. It's got 4 included ARGB fans. If you want, you can of course buy an additional 3-pack of ARGB fans, stick them up the top. You don't have to get $92 fans, by the way. You can get a good 3-pack out there for like $40 or $50 instead. And for $80, we're gonna get you everything that you need in the case. The PSU, I didn't talk about it before. You went with the Lian Edge. You went with the platinum version of this for like $200 for 1,000 watts. Really no difference. Just get this one instead. $143, and it comes with the white cables, which I think you're looking for that white ARGB build. Finally, for the Windows license, you went with the Pro version. There's nothing you need in the Pro version, so for $60 less, let's just get you the regular Windows 11 Home. If you ever decide you want to go Pro, you can just pay the difference and upgrade the license, obviously, but let's not spend all of our ducats. We're already paying a lot for a Windows retail license. So for $2,973.98, I mean, where do I even start? Not only are we going to get you basically equal gaming performance from the box itself, we're going to get you a RAM kit. You didn't have a RAM kit in the previous one, but we are going to get you incredible OLED gaming with 1440p ultra wide at 175 hertz. You're going to get incredible HDR, the crispness of OLED, way better than that more budget tier ultra wide 1440p gaming monitor you had. We're upgrading your storage to something with DRAM for less money and still 4 terabytes. You're still going to get that amazing, I think, white kind of wood ARGB aesthetic that you were looking for without spending $350 for it. So I hope you feel like your build is boosted. Remember, everything is linked down in the video description. Check out those links for current pricing and availability in your region. And of course, if you got value out of this video, please give it a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel, and subscribe for more cool PC content. Like if you don't want to spend $3,000 or $1,600, we've got some other great October early Black Friday deals right here. If you're thinking about what you're building for Black Friday or early Black Friday deals, check out this video right here. We have 3 amazing builds, and we'll catch you on the next one.